Hi YouTube, welcome back. Today we are back in the garden. The lighting is kind of terrible, but this is where I'm planting. So today I'm going to plant my fall garden. I am a little behind on some things. Some things should have been planted a little earlier, some of it a month ago, some of it a little longer ago. It is what it is. We only know if we try as to whether we can actually do it or not. Everybody's different, every place is different, every property is different, even within a region. So you only know what's going to work in your area if you try. Since some things are definitely late in planting, I'm going to put those things especially in this bed. It's already got the wall here, so it'll be easier to provide it some cover when we do start getting frost, which should be in about a month. Could be a little later, could be a little sooner. So some of these things I'm definitely going to need some frost protection, even though they are frost hardy. That's only to a certain point, and that's only after they are a certain size. So I'm going to give it a try. I have tried to grow fall peas and fall carrots before, only it was on the other side where they got some shade from the tree, which, you know, by this time is in full bloom, or at least full foliage. It's never bloomed. So it makes it more difficult to plant things over there, and none of those did very well. Over here, on the other hand, gets full sun from like 11 in the morning on, and some dappled sun before that. So my plan is to cover this bed, and it'll be over the wall, so it'll cover the peas and the carrots and beets and everything. So I'm also going to plant some of the stuff that I'm not really late for over where my onions are, and I gotta finish pulling the last of them out today. They're about done. I've already pulled most of them, so I'll just pull the rest of the onions today. The leeks I'm going to leave because they're still beautiful and green, and you don't have to pull them. So I'm just going to plant in front of them and leave them for a little while longer. Try and use some of them fresh. Onions will store though. So the things over here. Oh, and for fall gardening, yeah, there's a good chance you won't get anything. You could get a early frost. There is a good chance that if you do get food, you won't get seed from it, especially for fall type things. So these are the kind of seeds I'm not really worried about. They're extra, they're varieties that, they're okay, but I'm gonna stick with a different variety for the most part. So it's extra seed, or things that I did save some from, so I have a ton of. So these are not like my main picks, they're extra seed that I have, so that's what I'm using. Or they're like the earlier varieties to try and get done as fast as they can. So, all that being said, I'm going to try some fall peas again. I've tried before, they got some shade, made like one pea pod on each plant, and then that was it. I'm hoping over here, where they're not going to really get any shade other than the morning from the tree. They'll be up the trellis, away from everything else, so we'll see what happens. But they should have been planted by the end of August, according to the Farmer's Almanac in this area. Going to do some Sugar Magnolia Tendrils. I wasn't crazy about these. This is not going to be like my go-to variety. So I'm not worried about the seeds. I mean, they still grow peas. They're still good. Not my favorite, but we'll try them for a fall variety. Burpiana early for a shelling pea. And this one, it's only 63 days till harvest on these, which is super early. These are good. My mainstay for the shelling pea is, I think, going to be King Tut. But these are also just as tasty. So those are my peas, and they're going to go along the back radishes. Now, the radishes I'm putting over here are longer day varieties. They're black Spanish and daikon. I've never been able to actually be able to eat one of these from spring plantings because they take so long. The 60 day and 55 day. They get bigger, so they take longer, and they always bolt in the spring. So I'm gonna try these for a fall variety and see how they do. But because they do take so long, I probably should have planted them a little sooner. Considering today is September 19th. Yeah, probably should have had them planted sooner. But they'll get covered, so it'll be all right. Some cabbages. Now, it's definitely too late for big cabbages unless you have nice big plant starts. I have no plant starts. I haven't started any other plants since the spring. So these are shorter day varieties. We got Purple Lady Bok Choy, and they're all like Asian cabbages. Pak Choy, and I'm gonna say this wrong, I'm sorry. Suju Baby Bok Choy. They're smaller, but they taste the same as like the giant heads of cabbage, so what does it matter? And if I want to save some, preserve it, I'm just going to dehydrate it anyway, so it doesn't matter. So we need some lettuce, but again, it's a little late, so I've got a couple leaf varieties. We've got Nevada and red salad bowl. Now these take 50 days for the red salad bowl and 28 to 48 days for the Nevada. So I know I will be able to get some Nevada, but with protection, I'll be able to harvest it longer. Beets. If you watched one of my other videos, you saw that I didn't really get any beets this year. They were buried in weeds and they didn't get very big, and by the time I dug all the weeds out, they were all very woody and small. So I'm hoping to get seed from them next year because they're biennials. However, I need some beets. So I'm gonna put a lot of these in. And these are not the ones that I really want for seed anyway. I want to get, I dropped it. I want to get the cylindrical ones, which are easier for slicing because they're longer. I want to save seed from those. And the golden ones because my daughter actually likes those, which she hates beets, so. But I don't have as many of those. I'm not sure if I'm going to get seed from the ones that I grew, so I'm not going to just plant them in the fall where I may not get anything. Carrots. Also next to the beets, I had carrots, and they were also overtaken by weeds. So they did grow, but most of them were small. I need more carrots in my life because just everybody likes carrots. I did also have, which I hadn't talked about in a video yet, because I just harvested these like a week ago. I put some short and sweets in the ground next to where my pumpkins are growing, and they actually did fairly well in the clay soil. There's like, I put this much compost on top of everything. That's it. Mixed it up a little, but it's so hard and compacted there because it used to be a high traffic zone. So I didn't think regular carrots would do very well, but the short and sweets did do pretty good there. Some of them got this fat around. Now they're not very long. They're only like this long, but some of them got pretty fat around. But these are also only 68 days, and the package actually says you can plant through September. They probably mean beginning of September. But we'll see, and providing them some cover just in case. Hopefully let them get a little bigger. Danvers 126, not my mainstay carrot. They're a little long for most of my beds. because these are 7 to 8.5 inch long, and they usually end up forking in my soil. I'm still building soil. It's a process. It's getting deeper and better every year, but for now it's still not great, or at least it's still kind of heavy, not that far down. But these also say that you can plant into September, so we'll see how that goes. But those are the ones that I'm going to go over here. Now, I still have cucumber plants and some small melon plants that I need to tear out of here because they're dead. I already took the zucchini and squash out of the front of the bed. I wish I had done a video while they were huge and gorgeous because they blew my mind this year. In this one corner though, I've got one lonely broccoli plant that I'm saving seed from. But other than this one spot, the rest of this is all going to be fall garden stuff. Over where the onions are, I'm going to plant spinach, which this is like the normal time to plant spinach here because spinach hates the heat, and well, mine always bolt in the spring. Always. Always. I started growing Malabar spinach through the summer because I just can't seem to grow spinach in the spring. And it does really well. And it looks gorgeous over there. And a lot of us like it, so that's good. But I'm going to try once again to get some regular spinach for a fall garden this time and see if it does better. And then some radishes. We've got, these are the regular ones, French dressing, cherry bells, and garden giant. And these are all about 25-day varieties. So they should be ready to harvest before the first frost kicks in, and they can take a frost too. So these I'm not worried about having to cover. And last but not least, the kale. Probably should have plant starts because these are going to be a little slow to start. We'll see what happens. Still don't know if any of us will eat the kale, but I've got Red Russian and Siberian, and mosquitoes are already out. Anyway, I'm gonna get to work. I gotta get these planted, hopefully get to the other bed today, but the sun is already starting to go down, so I don't know, we'll see. Anyway, I'm gonna work on this and we'll be back. Alright, the bed is weeded and amended. I added some of my homemade compost. I've got everything set up here. There's the broccoli, the 3 types of cabbage, and then lettuce, carrots, and beets down at the end. And then peas are going to go along the back so they can go up the wall. Well, I got this bed planted anyway. I'm quickly running out of light, and I've lost about a pint of blood to the blood-sucking mosquitoes. So I'm gonna call it quits for tonight. I will get the other bed planted tomorrow. But that's not the point of this video. The point of this video is you never know until you try. Some people say you can't do it, this, that, or whatever. But you don't know until you try. Everyone's different. Every place is different. And if you've moved even, you don't know what's going to work in your new area. It could be totally different. The point is, just try. You might get some food, you might get some seed, you might learn something, or maybe just have some fun. The point is, just try. Anyway, thanks for coming along with me today. I hope you enjoyed this video. God bless you all. Shalom.